Winding down the winter meetings from Nashville, the Mets making some moves this week, but also hanging on to a lot of their promising young talent. And if we're going to talk young talent, nobody better to talk to than the new Mets Senior VP of Player Development, Andy Green. Andy, thanks so much for joining us on set here, and congratulations on the new role. What was it that ultimately attracted you to this job?
I think this organization in particular, it's one that resonates with me, having played here briefly. I had a nice 4-day stint in 2009 in the big leagues, so it's always fun to come back to the organization you played for. But David's leadership resonated the time I spent with him through the interview process. And for me, it's coming off a major league field. I've been there for the last decade, and at this point in time, it's understanding where you can have the greatest amount of impact in a place that's going somewhere positive. And player development gives you the real opportunity to impact coaches, staff, and most of all, the players that are going to impact the big league level for a long time.
I know you had said that for a while people had been telling you, hey, maybe this is a role that you'll end up in. Why do you think that is? What do you think your skill set brings to a role like this in particular?
I've always had a passion for helping people get to the next level. Like, you want to be the type of person that elevates everybody else around you. And player development, like, there's no ego in it. Our coaches down there, they're not doing it to sit on SNY. They're not doing it to get notoriety. They're doing it out of passion to impact our players and ultimately create a culture of sustained success at the big league level. So for me, like, you can do it as a big league coach to a degree, but as a person that's in charge of empowering really intelligent coaches and leaders to impact our players, like, it's more impactful, and that's what resonated so deeply with me.
So you say that, you know, a lot of the conversation you had with David during the interview process for Mets manager, you were one of the candidates, that those conversations were one of the main reasons that you wanted to take this job. What is it about David Stearns that seems to give him the universal opinion, or people have the universal opinion of him, that this guy, he understands what he's doing when he's building an organization?
Well, it is a universal opinion, and that's one that, like, as I've gone through and worked for different people in baseball, I've become pretty religious at seeking out people I respect's opinion about different leaders in the game, and it universally came back, like, man of integrity that understands what it takes to win, that understands what it takes to put people in positions to be successful in their job, because ultimately when you sit at the top of an organization, you want to put Carlos Mendoza in a position to be successful. You want to put your senior vice presidents in positions to be successful, because if they're successful, that means your players are and your organization is. And you could feel that he had the understanding of who he was talking to, and that there's a spot for you in an organization that can help us immensely. And I think that resonance was there, and just, it's a quality person. Like, it's just fun to talk to and work with. And I think if you're going to grind with somebody for as long as a baseball season is, you want that type of person that you want to talk to be there. And, like, felt that pretty easily with him.
So, Andy, I'm going to ask you a very similar question to one that I did ask David Stearns the other night on the air. Especially when you come into a new organization, to me, from the outside looking in, it seems like such an incredible amount of information that you have to gain a mastery of relatively quickly. How do you go about the process of learning an entire system, an entire minor league coaching staff? What I guess goes into that to get you to the point where you feel comfortable implementing what you want to implement?
Yeah, you ask a lot of questions. And the beauty of it is there's some really smart people that are here in our minor league system, that a lot of good has been done over the last number of years. Connected well with Andrew Christie, with Ronnie Reyes, with Eric Jagers, with Jeff Albert, leaders in our minor league system, and picking their brains like crazy, asking questions, watching video, talking to everybody else in the front office, especially at the dead period now. There's not any interaction with our players, so it's been a great opportunity to get to know the staff, but you're drinking from the proverbial fire hose, and there's a lot of information coming at you from a lot of different ways, but it's fun. It's new. It's invigorating again, and it's ultimately, like, the design is to make players better so we win at the big leagues.
When the dead period is over and you're actively doing that, what does your day-to-day generally look like?
I think mostly, like where I am in the organization, it's going to be empowering and impacting our coaches and our leaders in the minor leagues to make them as impactful as it comes to relating to our players. It'll be casting vision and understanding what is going to make our players successful, but it's ultimately like, how do we empower the staff? How do we impact the staff? How do we get to know our players so we put them in the optimal position to be successful? Because for every player, there's a decision that has to be made. Where do they start? When do you promote them? When do you send them down sometimes? Because that's not the end of the world. Like sometimes those things happen and it ultimately gets them to their end goal quicker. We can't be scared of those things sometimes. And there's an unbelievable amount of decisions that are made when you talk about all the guys we have in the minor leagues, and to partner with a really bright group of people to do it, I'm excited.
Andy Green, fantastic stuff. So great to have you on set here. I know your home is Nashville, so congratulations on just being able to jet back up the road. But again, thanks so much for the time. Good luck moving forward. Congratulations again, and we'll talk to you again in the near future.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Steve.
All right, he is Andy Green. When we come back, we're going to have our guys rejoin the set as we wind things down from our winter meetings coverage, day 3 of the winter meetings, Mets Hot Stove Live, coming right back.